We can't gather in person this year, but we've adapted. The 2020 Milwaukee Film Festival brings the best in film from across the globe and around the corner. And this year, it's all virtual, so the films and events are coming directly to you. Join us for the 2020 Milwaukee Film Festival, October 15th through the 29th. More information is at mkefilm.org/MFF.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Day 11 of the 2020 Milwaukee Film Festival presented by Associated Bank. I'm Marielle Alschwang. I'm the Education Manager at Milwaukee Film, and this is the Napcap, a special family edition of the Nightcap series presented by the Ubuki Family Foundation. Don't forget to cast your vote for the Alan H. Budd and Suzanne L. Seelig Audience Award. To do that, visit the Film or Shorts Programs page at watch.mkefilm.org, log in with your pass or ticket code, and click the button that says Vote Now. And you'll be connected to the form that serves as your ballot. A quick note for the adults or the junior moguls in our audience. As you've seen, we have a double up challenge going right now. And thanks to the generosity of Judith McGregor and Richard Gullen, if we raise $75,000 during the festival, they will double it. So text double up to 44321 or go to mkefilm.org/donate to donate. You can also go to mkefilm.org/members to become a member and help us meet our goal. And as of today, we are 82% of the way there. So that's very exciting. And we'd love you to help us get even further. Milwaukee Film couldn't do what we do during the festival as well as throughout the year without the support of our members. Members get access to free films throughout the year, discounts on tickets, passes, and more. Plus, our members keep the nonprofit Milwaukee Film going. If you think that sounds appealing, join us. If you are already a member, thank you, and help us spread the word. So this afternoon, we are joined by several filmmakers from our Rated K for Kids Shorts program. I'll introduce them one film at a time, and then we'll each have a 10-minute chat, which I'm very much looking forward to until 2 o'clock, also known as nap time, because this is the Napcap. So I don't know about you, if you want to get comfortable, get ready for nap time. I personally have an Afghan. I have some chamomile tea ready in one of my favorite cups. So I am definitely ready to wind down and talk to some of my favorite filmmakers from the festival. We're really honored to have them here. So whether you're watching us live, or if you're watching us live, you can drop your questions and comments in the chat or comments section, and we'll put them into our conversation. So first, I'd like to invite Ellie Wen, the director of the Misfits.
Hello.
Hi,
Thanks for having me, Marielle.
Oh yeah, thanks so much for being here. Are you ready for a nap time?
I love the idea of the Napcap because I actually just had my first child like 2 months ago. Thank you. So nap time is constant and this works out perfectly.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm glad we could make this happen for everybody. So yeah, thanks so much for being here. Where are you reporting from?
I'm hailing from San Francisco.
Awesome. And you did the film The Misfits, which is in both our size large and our teen shorts, our juniors Rated K programs. Could you tell me about what led you to create this film?
Yeah, so I was actually in my second year at my MFA program at Stanford in documentary film, and I had always wanted to do something about women in STEM. And so when I learned about this all-girls robotics team in San Francisco, I checked them out. I went to Maker Faire and saw them giving a demonstration to this group of young kids and just the enthusiasm and passion with which they were speaking about robotics and engineering just really excited me, and I knew there had to be a film there. So I was able to follow them throughout their whole robotics season, and I'm really grateful that they let me tag along.
Oh, that's awesome. And what are some highlights from the film making process? And if you could tell us maybe some of your favorite parts.
Yeah. Well, what the initial spark was that I just became a fan of these girls, of this team immediately, and that just kind of continued throughout the making of the film. So I was wearing two caps, I feel like, throughout the whole time I was filming. One as like director, producer, and then the other as just like a genuine fan of the team and wanting to root them on. So the competitions were really fun and exhilarating, both for filming but also as a participant. Um, and now I want to go join a team myself and be on a team.
Yeah, did you learn about how to make robotics through this process? Because if anybody watching this hasn't seen the film yet, yeah, they build everything from the very first stages of conception through this competition, which is really exciting to watch. Yeah. So
Yeah.
about robotics.
I know. I wish I could say I learned everything, but it's so complicated, and it's just I have so much admiration for these girls because it really is like running a company or a startup. They just do everything themselves with the help of mentors who are great, and supportive family as well. But really, they do everything themselves, and it's very high stakes. The competition is fierce. So, yeah, I'm very impressed by them, and I wish I retained more, but I was very focused on filming as well. So I'll have to go to a robotics boot camp at some point.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, me too. I know absolutely zero about it. So, but I learned from your film though, so that's exciting.
Oh,
Um,
good.
yeah. But, when you were filming, did you already feel drawn to this subject matter and this group because they were girls competing in a male-dominated field? And yeah, could you tell me more about maybe conversations you had with the film subjects and if you could relate to them as a filmmaker?
Absolutely. I think, yeah, you just basically said it. I was drawn to it because they are an all girls team in a male dominated field. And I really related to that as a woman in the film industry. Things are getting better, but there's still a huge gender inequity. So I was able to have lots of conversations with the girls where it just sounded a lot like what I've been through, these tiny, microaggressions or things where people are doubting you or don't think you belong. I could really relate to that. So it was cool that we had a shared foundation.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you could give any kids out there who might be listening who are interested in going into a male dominated field, or who are interested in filmmaking, what would you tell them to deal with microaggressions or feeling kind of left out of something that they really want to do?
Yeah. Um, I think the main thing which I took away from actually the Misfits team was yes, they're aware of all the stereotypes and the microaggressions and things, and they have to deal with that. But they also are amazing at just forging ahead and doing their own thing and not paying attention and letting that get to them. So I was really inspired by that. And I would say just go out there and do it and don't pay attention to the doubters, and just prove them wrong and go learn, go educate yourself, go do, go build, go make.
I love that. Yeah, thanks for that. And where are the robotics team members now?
Yeah, so the girls that I filmed ranged from freshmen to seniors in high school. So some of them have graduated since then, and some of them are currently seniors. So they're all doing great. I'm still in touch with all of them, and it's just really cool to see the team continue to grow and to dominate the field and do really well. And then also to see the ones who've graduated continue to study engineering or pursue their interests in college.
Oh, that's so awesome. And another thing that I loved about this film, I mean, you could see that they were pulling all-nighters, it looked like, or just they worked so hard. And I admire their intelligence and their work ethic, and also the educators, the kind of team leaders or team mentors, I guess, who supported them and their family members. Yeah, could you speak a little bit to the roles of, the adults who kind of were part of that community?
Yeah, that's such a great question. And that's something I hope people can take away from the film as well, is that it really does take a village of support for something like this to happen. And I was really touched and blown away by the generosity of these mentors, the team mentors and family members who would contribute to support the girls. And so a lot of the mentors came from this company called Cruise, which is a self-driving car company in San Francisco, and they're the main sponsors of the team. So they offer a workshop space for the girls to build the robots, which is hugely important because they need a good working space to have all their equipment and to be able to test drive the robot and everything. So that's a big help, but also for them to be engineers who are in the field to lend their expertise and to also be role models, I think is wonderful. So that's a big component of the team. And I know that the girls really appreciate their mentors a lot. And I'm hoping that people who watch the film, all ages, can see some way to get involved, whether you want to get involved with STEM and learn about that. You could do that at any age. And if you are an expert in the field, you could be a mentor. And I actually have a list of resources for people on my website if they're interested, so in how to get involved. So you check it out at themisfitsdocumentary.com.
Awesome. Themisfitsdocumentary.com. Everybody visit there. And yeah, I love this. Okay. And maybe one more question, just getting back to your filmmaking career, and also what lies, in the future for you. What first made you interested in filmmaking, and what is your next project, if any?
Well, I'm really lucky that my mom raised me on films, and so I've just always kind of known that I wanted to be in the film industry. I just didn't know in what way. So I actually started more on the producing side of things. But then after dipping my toes into just picking up a camera myself and making a few shorts, I decided to pursue that full time and pursue being a filmmaker, a director myself. And so I, again, would encourage anyone who has any interest in just trying their hand at it. Don't think that you need an entire degree or that you need to know everything about how cameras work. Just try, just experiment, and you can only get better from practice and continuing to make things.
That's great advice. Thank you so much, Ellie. And
all
right, so it's family time. We've got a baby. Yes.
Yeah, that's the big project right now. But I am actually also developing a new project in San Francisco, and as part of this artist residency program here. So hoping to be able to pull off the working mom filmmaker role.
Absolutely. And I'm feeling like the energy of someone who absolutely can do that. So it's really,
thank you.
Yeah, it's really nice to meet you. It's lovely to have you film festival and to see you here virtually.
Yes, thank you so much for this amazing opportunity and for including the Misfits in such a great lineup. It's really been an honor.
The honor is ours. So thank you. And happy napping.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. All right, that was so much fun. So let's talk to Maria Teresa Salcedo, who created the film Wildly.
Hi, Maria.
Hi, Maria Teresa. This is already a blast. How are you?
Fine, thank you. And you?
Wonderful. So where are you hailing from?
Well, right now I'm from Colombia, from Bogota, but right now I'm in Glasgow, in Scotland, because I'm doing a master's degree in children's literature, culture, and media. And yes, I'm here, but I just began this master 1 month ago. Then, well, I'm learning everything here, how to a new place and a new life.
Wow, yeah. I mean, that's so much. When did you first arrive in Glasgow?
I think that at the end of September, yes, at the end of September, it's going to be near. It's almost a month. Yes, but I have to do. I did a quarantine. I have to be 14 of self isolation here.
Hmm.
Yes, just began the adventure here in the Highlands.
Well, that's really amazing. And the program you're in sounds incredible and perfect for you based on, what I've seen of your work. And Wildly It, just to remind our audiences out there, is in our size medium program in rated K. The image from your film is in a lot of our promotional material. It's so beautiful. Please tell us what brought you to create this film, and why you chose to use the media you did, maybe a little bit about the techniques that you used.
Okay. Well, the idea appeared in 2014, many years ago, in a course that I did in Spain in children's content. But at the beginning, the first idea was to show how our things in our houses how the things have a story to the beyond. Well, have a story, and this was the first idea, and then appeared Zero and Leah. Zero in the first moment was a kid, and also Leah was a real cat. But in the beginning, no, many years ago, and the idea was that Zero tried to help the things, and Leah, because she has problems with her empathy, she she generates some problems. Meanwhile, Zero is trying to help the things to tell or to solve something of their past. This was the first idea. It was very long. It was a very complex idea, but with the time, I began to simplify a lot of the ideas that I want to tell, and also I found that my main character was Leah, this wild cat who is independent, but also is a lonely cat, and she has a lot of problems with the interaction with the others, because she doesn't understand well the other. It was like the idea to show how something with these kind of problems or with these these things, these feelings inside her, how she can make friends, and maybe with the help of the others discover another way to build relationships. Yes, this was the idea. How after that, at the first moment, I think I thought to do this short film with puppets, because I love puppets, and I have worked with this. But because of the nature of the story, I think that maybe some things are not going to be possible to do with this technique. And but I don't want to make the short film with 2D animation, because one of the things that I really want to express and to show through the short film was the materiality of the things. Yes, recover this first idea that things have a story to tell. Yes, and that maybe when you watch the film, you can see and feel these things and these characters really near to you. I don't know if I get it, but it was the idea. And then I met the animator and the stop motion animator and the animation directors, and I found the right person to continue the project and to express and show in the way that I want to do it this story. This was the idea, and also I want puppets in stop motion or in real life, I want to use real locations, a real forest in Colombia, and it was a really difficult thing to do that, but I think that yes, I want to show a bit of my country also, of the nature and all the materiality that is there to the children and to people.
Well, the result was gorgeous, and it's so multi-textural, and I love that your way of, I guess, highlighting empathy was through making things really tactile and lush. So that really works, and that's really beautiful. Did you make any of the puppets yourself, or was that all the animation team? What did your team kind of look like as they were working, and what exactly did they do?
Well, we were not a big team. I was not the main animation builder, because, for example, Andrea, the stop motion animator, she did the structures of the puppets, and the art director and another puppets builder, they did all the puppets, but I also helped in little details, like yeah, there are. I did a lot of things, but little things, yes, like to I don't know. For example, there is a carpet in the floor of all the house that is made with, I don't know what is it. What a material. Well, I did the carpets in the general, but for example, and for example, when we were building Leah, at the first moment, I want since the screenplay, she is a flowered pattern cat, yes. But also I want some patches in different places. But for example, the prototype that is not is very roughly made. I during the 2 weeks I worked in this, trying to search what will be the look. For example, the Andrea, the director, the animation. The director of animation, she did the structure. Camilo, a puppet builder, he put the and the mother of Andrea also, she worked doing putting the what is inside there, and the skin, the flower pattern was made for the the art director printed, and she put it, and and suit. I think that is what. But yes, find the final look. It was like I think of 2 weeks trying this this clothes, and also after trying another cloth, and what will be the shape of the eyes, the shape of the nose of Leah. Yes, it was. I helped a lot, but I'm not the main. Yes, I only help with little details in all the process. Yes.
Well, you brought it together it looks very cohesive. And so, yeah, well done. And so now that you're in a graduate program, are you going to be doing more films through that, or going into other kinds of media, or what kind of is next for you?
Well, right now the program is really tough for me. Then I'm learning a lot, improving my English. It's like my brain is, I feel sometimes that it's going to explode. Then at this moment, I chose this program because it's another path, because I have worked always in television and in films, but I also want to expand the content for children that I can create, maybe in another medias, in another media, or with other strategies. Then also I want to learn as much as I can these 2 years, and right now is the only plan that I have. Yes, at this moment I don't. Yes, it's what I'm thinking, that I want to do my best here, because yes, at this moment it's really exigent. It's a really exigent program for me. Yes, I want to focus only in this. I'm not good to doing a lot of things. I have to do one thing at a time. It's like, because yes, this when I try to be a multitasking woman, is like, yes, I don't enjoy the life, and I don't see the point of this.
I can definitely relate to that. You want to focus and do what is really important to you. So yeah, all the best in this program. It sounds challenging, but really exciting. And so yeah, wishing you the best in this new chapter. And thank you so much for being here and being part of our festival. Again, to our audiences, check out Wild Leah in our size medium program of Rated K. Thank you again, Maria Teresa.
No, thank you to you. It's wonderful to be in this festival. I feel that you are super, yes, I don't know. I feel near to you, although we are not. It's like, yes, I'm really happy to be in this festival. It's really wonderful.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so nice to hear. Well, happy napping. Sounds like you're busy enough. You need a little nap now. So
yes, yes. Right. Well, have a wonderful Sunday.
Thank you. You too. Bye. All right. That was, again, very lovely. And I'm very excited to bring the filmmakers Amanda Conkin and Stephanie Blakey, who created The Butterfly Affect. Welcome. Hi.
Hi there.
Hi.
So what are your roles in creating The Butterfly Affect, and where are you both hailing from today?
Oh, I was going to wait for Amanda. All right, let's default to Stephanie first, unless she's asked directly. So I am Stephanie Blakey, and I am the director of The Butterfly Affect in this festival, and I forgot the rest of the question.
From Vancouver.
Oh my gosh, that's right, from Vancouver. I'm so proud of my hometown that I forgot to mention it. Yeah, I'm from Vancouver.
There you go. And I'm Amanda Conkin. I'm the producer for The Butterfly Affect, and I'm here in Vancouver as well. So, yeah, Canadian filmmakers. I should specify Vancouver, Canada, not the one in Washington. So, yeah.
And I got to go on a family trip when I was a kid to Vancouver, and it is beautiful. And so for many years after, Vancouver was like the place I wanted to live when I grew up. But I love Milwaukee. I'm very happy here, but it's not, it's nice.
It does sound, Milwaukee sounds fantastic. We went to the filmmaker orientation, or I was at the filmmaker orientation, and there was a lot of filmmakers that are part of the festival from Milwaukee, and just kept talking about how great it was. And that the Milwaukee Film Festival is such a staple of the community, and so it's very cool to be part of that, that even digitally now, and being able to join from far away. So I feel like we came to Milwaukee through the internet. So
that is awesome to hear, and thank you so much for the kind words, or passing them along as well as others. That's really lovely to hear, and yes, I concur. So if there are burgeoning or active filmmakers in Milwaukee right now, we have the Milwaukee Filmmaker Alliance. I'll just plug it right now.
nice.
Be a part of the MFA. So yes, I would love for our audiences to hear about where you got the idea for the butterfly effect, which is in our size large program of Rated K.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll talk about that a little bit. So the film, The Butterfly Effect, is about a little worm, Jessie, who lives in a world of butterflies, which isn't exactly made for her. She's different. She's a bit of an outsider, and it's kind of her learning to kind of embrace herself and express herself in the way that she's able to, instead of trying to emulate something that is just impossible, but for the best. So that idea, it wasn't my idea. It was the writer Jen Devro's idea for the film. So we made this film as part of a Women in Animation and Women in View initiative to get more women filmmakers in the industry, in jobs that they may not necessarily have an easy time getting into. So I was chosen as director. We have Amanda as the producer, and then we have Maisha Moore as the art director, Caitlin Sutherland as the animation director, and then, like I said before, Jen Devra as the screenwriter. So Jen came up with this idea kind of as a response to even being selected for this program, in that she herself felt like this worm in a world of butterflies. She had little to no kind of formal screenwriting experience. She was very green, very new to the whole thing, huge passion for it, but no official experience. So when she was accepted into the program, or at the very least accepted to be interviewed for it, she was maybe freaking out a little bit, and her experience, this almost like imposter syndrome, she channeled into this script, really. So it's basically Jen's story, but I will say that I still relate to it. I know a lot of people have been able to relate to it, and it was because the story was so true to her and true to her heart and her experiences, made it that much easier to work on and kind of help bring to life. I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of Jen.
She's working as a writer now too in the game industry, which is so fantastic. So the program really, just to speak a little bit more to it, it was called Five in Focus, which Women in View is a Canadian organization that was had a few iterations of this project and partnered with Women in Animation for a Five in Focus animation program. So 5 of us were chosen, and part of that is just to get enough experience in the industry to then do those jobs. And all 5 of us have advanced in our career from that. I think very much a lot of the experience that we got doing the program worked, because we're now working in the fields that we wanted to. And I know Women in Animation is continuing to work on and expand the program in their own way. And also Women in View is continuing with the Five in Focus program. They're doing an Indigenous initiative for Canadian filmmakers. So both, we were this wonderful convergence of these 2 powerhouse Canadian women organizations that wanted to just create more representation. And it's so fantastic that we were able to come together for that iteration of Five in Focus. And now both of the organizations are continuing to enhance the careers of women in Canadian content. And I just think that that's fantastic. So
I'll say very, very quickly, though, that the program is no longer called Five in Focus. It's called the ACE program. So if you want to look it up, then check that out.
Yeah, that's the Women in Animation part of it, and then Five in Focus is the Women in View part of it. So there's the ACE and so, but it's awesome to have I don't know, one thing to be a Canadian filmmaker is it is really fantastic that there's a recognition that we do a lot of work for American studios here, especially in animation. We're very much a service industry. So to have organizations that recognize that there's a need for fostering talent that comes from Canada and that we have stories to tell, especially for underrepresented filmmakers or for female filmmakers, and to see those organizations putting their money where their mouth is and actually sponsoring and fostering creative talent is fantastic. And we've been able to go to some amazing festivals internationally. And we were actually in three festivals last week all across the world. It was fantastic. So,
and that's where the script idea came from.
Yeah.
That is all fascinating and really inspiring. Yeah, wow. So congratulations, everyone involved in all of this. Yeah, this is really cool. This is making me kind of brainstorm about, things that we can do here as well. Gosh, where to even begin? I mean, the story really, first of all, I can totally relate to everything you said about the imposter syndrome and also feeling really gratified by just like jumping in and trying something and just doing something that's really from your heart. And yeah, and so many beautiful things happen after that once you just kind of like step into that role, even though it may be the first time that you've ever done that. So, but also, what did you get any responses from children who've seen this film or like younger audiences? I'm curious to hear how they took the story as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Amanda and I were lucky enough to attend our international premiere of the film at the New York International Children's Film Festival, right before, quarantine and everything. And after our film screened a couple of times, we were present to answer questions and stand up and talk to people. And we had just so many kids came up and parents and teachers and talked to us about the film, and about, how they were rooting for Jessie and, I'm so happy that, she was okay. And she, you don't need to kind of fit into these roles. You don't need to do this. Like she'll be all right. She's fine. And, I'll feel fine too. And it was just so kind of fulfilling and satisfying and humbling, incredibly humbling, because, you're working on a film like this for a year in the dark by yourself, with other people online, but to like the kind of point really is to share it with people. And so thanks again for allowing us this opportunity to share it some more, but to experience it with families, kids, teachers in auditoriums like that was just amazing to physically see the reaction that it's had on people. So that has just been fantastic.
I love that. And yes, if any audiences want to send their responses to, or young audiences want to send their responses to any of these films to me at marielle@mkefilm.org, I would love to see them and pass them along to the filmmakers too. Yeah. And kind of continuing a theme that we were talking about with Ellie, and in light of what you just mentioned, do you have any advice for young filmmakers or aspiring filmmakers, kids who might be watching these films and saying to themselves like, oh, I want to try that, and maybe, yeah, any words of wisdom or confidence for them?
Sure. Go for it, Amanda. I'll pipe in later.
I mean, this is a question that we kept getting to as we've been part of this program, and one of the big things that had already been alluded to from Stephanie is that sometimes opportunities present themselves that you don't feel like you may be quite right for, or that you've always wanted to do, but you just hold yourself back for whatever reason. And I think that the most important thing that I've learned in the last couple of years of pursuing my dreams and careers is that never take for granted that you're qualified for opportunities that you want. And so I think that there's definitely a trend sometimes for women to hold themselves back until they're fully qualified and they feel like they have everything. But if you have enough sort of aspiration or inspiration and feel like you can do something, just take that leap, go for it, apply for whatever opportunities you can, because somebody might be looking for something that is perfectly you. And the second part of that is that don't feel like you have to manipulate yourself to fit some other criteria, that everybody has a story to tell. And the reason that someone's going to select you or that someone's going to back your idea is not because you can pretend to be what you think they want. It's because of who you are as a creator and the stories that you want to tell, and that they'll recognize that and foster that. And I think that just the more that you're true to your own ideas and that you have an idea, pick something that you're passionate about and grow that idea and just tell as many people as possible that you want to make this and that you're the person to make this. And eventually I think it'll stick. That those are my,
I've got some Canadian wisdom from our savior Wayne Gretzky, which is you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So just try it. There's no harm. The worst that can happen is maybe you fail, but the best is maybe you succeed. And if you fail, then that's still kind of a step on the way to success. So just, take a step forward, keep writing, keep drawing, write your stories, draw your comics, whatever you want. Just like give it a try. Why not? Because maybe it'll work out. And if it doesn't, then you'll learn from it. So just go for it.
I could not have said it better myself. This is excellent advice. And so what, is there anything next for both of you? New projects?
Well, we got to incorporate a company as part of the program. And so I'm still dealing with all of the paperwork for that. So it hasn't quite gone away from me. We're still dealing with this, but that is sort of the coolest part, is that we now get to be this group of 5 women. We own this company, Spectacle 5 Films, and are going to maybe see if we want to do anything else with that. Or else I know each of us are doing our own projects. I think Jen is pitching some cool ideas and just really ramping up from what's been happening. So I don't know, Stephanie, if you have anything specific that you're working on. I've got another live action film that I'm trying to get into festivals as well. I had to plug that too. I just wanted to, it's really awesome. It was a year of incorporating 2 companies with different groups of amazing women in Vancouver. So the other short film is trying to get out there as well. So sorry, Stephanie.
I'm rooting for your success on your live action other film made with a different director as well. No, I'm pretty busy at my day job right now. I'm working as a storyboard supervisor at Atomic Cartoons in Vancouver. But I'm still developing kind of my own ideas on the side. I've got a bunch of ideas for short films, mainly just, short, dumb things that make me happy. Basically, I'm the audience for everything I make, and then it's a bonus if anyone else likes it. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you both so much. It's an honor to meet you. This has been so much fun. And congratulations on all of these things that are happening. It sounds fantastic. So.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, the festival is fantastic. So thank you.
Yeah, and everybody check out the film The Butterfly Effect in size large of the Rated K program. And let's see who's next on the docket. Can we bring on, is Vanessa still here?
Let me unmute myself. Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Hello. I'm doing well, thanks. I've got my coffee now, so I'm waking up.
Oh,
yeah.
And I'm just winding down.
It's only 3:00 here.
So Vanessa, your gorgeous film in our teen shorts or juniors program called Wild Woman. I love it. It has such a powerful message. And the animation is gorgeous. So could you tell us about, where you got this story, and also what brought you to create these particular kinds of visuals?
Sure. So this film actually started off as a completely different film that I was creating in my master's degree at CalArts. And it was sort of about all of the fears I had about death and if I was ever going to become a mom, just that side of femininity or womanhood. And then I had a couple of family members pass away during the production of that film. And I ended up becoming pregnant. So that sort of everything I feared, just as a woman and just as a person sort of came into being. And later on, I have two daughters now, but later on, I sort of came back to that film, and I wrote a piece of slam poetry just based on everything I was going through and thinking about. And at that time, this was in 2014 or so, there was a lot of drone strikes happening in the world, and that was sort of new for us. And I couldn't really believe a lot of the hatred that was just bubbling up. People's hatred for your race, your religion, your football team, whatever, and kind of wanting to push back against that and really, one, remind myself and sort of, I don't know if preach, but preach to others that like there is compassion. At the end of the day, we're all human, and we need to really remember that there are only so many things that make us different. So the second we can actually reach across the aisle is the second we start healing as humans and moving forward to something better.
Absolutely. And when did you start writing poetry?
So I've written poetry all of my life. When I was a little kid, I had all of my hands in all of the buckets, dancing, singing, theater where I could, writing poetry. I forgot about this until recently. I used to make movies with my parents' VHS camera and like force my family into like acting a certain way. I was like, oh, I did do that, huh? But I used to write poetry as a teen, and then it kind of went away for a while, and until about 2012, when I just started picking that up again. I just started writing, getting back into that habit, because I have a million journals. I don't know about you, but I start writing in one and I leave it somewhere, and I've finished writing in another one. And so I just started writing. And since then, I've really realized that that's very vital to my process. I can't do one thing. They all sort of relate. So always.
Awesome. Yeah. And I can definitely relate to all of that. And this brings up, or another question that came to mind is, at what point was this the film where you decided to combine poetry and visual art? Or maybe when did that first happen, and what
Yeah.
was
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I did try it once when I was getting my bachelor's degree. I tried it out, and with mixed results. I was told that I had something, but I wasn't really sure what it was. So I was like, well, we'll leave that back there and move on to something new. And so this was the first time that I have created a piece that felt, one, like I was using, the superpowers I had, of all of the different things I like to do, but also, actually embracing my voice, like really embracing my voice and my opinion. And it was terrifying. It was so terrifying. And now I look at it and I'm like, well, this isn't too harsh of a thing to talk about, but just getting through that, just trusting in your own voice to be either loud enough or important enough to say the messages that you want to say was a big deal for me. And so in that way, yes, that was definitely a first time. Oh, you're muted.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Vanessa, because I feel like, no matter what stage in life you're in, and we were just talking with Stephanie and Amanda about imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
I think these themes keep coming up, but it's what you're saying, I think, is really important for anyone to hear. And I like that you brought up being a superhero, because it is kind of like, speaking your truth in your own way is a superpower, maybe now more, especially now. So thank you for doing that. And we're really excited to have that in our teen program. And I can't wait to hear what our audiences might think of of your film, did you get any, were you able to see any responses from audience members as well?
Not in this festival yet. I've had a few throughout its run because it was actually finished in 2018, and so it sort of surprised me after 2019 finished. I was like, "Oh, I'm done!" And then I was invited to your lovely festival, to this lovely festival, and a few others over the course of 2019 and this year, and it sort of surprised me, that this still had some legs to walk on. But I did have some good feedback in that span, and what surprised me even further was I never really pictured this film playing for teens, and I think this is the second or third festival that has really just approached me about it, and it makes me very confused, but also like very happy to know that you feel this would sit well with teen audiences, because I think that, like you said, the voice, the ability to believe in your own voice is something that you go through regardless of the age that you are. But it's especially painful when you're a teenager, because you really feel those outside eyes, outside opinions, whether they're there or not. You feel them and you kind of respond to them, and it's the hardest time to really believe in your voice. So I thank you so much for letting me be a part of this.
Thank you so much. I think those are beautiful words to end on. Yeah, and I definitely think it sits well. You put it perfectly. The teenage years are, I think, exactly the time to kind of see your message and hear your words. And also, we have a group in Milwaukee called the Stillwaters Collective, and it engages local teens in slam poetry. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, it's kind of perfect. So yeah, thank you again. We're really honored to have your film in our fest here.
The fest has been beautiful. You've done a great job. I know I was talking to you about your platform. I was like, oh, this is really sleek. Nice job. It's running really nice too.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Well, we'll just keep it going for another 8 days or anyway. Well, all the best to you, Vanessa. And and you have another project coming up, right? I think we were talking about it earlier.
Yeah. It's sort of it's on the low at the moment. I have my hands in a couple of things. Some things I've started, but I'm collaborating with a coworker who is a live action director and writer. I don't want to say too much because it's really early days, but she's won a Sundance Award for her writing in the past, and so I'm looking forward to it. It's been a learning curve for both of us, but in a really positive environment, which is the best you could ask for,
Very cool. Well, all the best.
Thanks.
And happy napping. Let's bring on Giselle and Natalia from 3 Feet.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome to the Napcap.
Thanks. Thanks. We are very excited to be here.
Oh, we're so excited to have you here too. And where are you sitting? How's your day going?
We are actually sitting in Natalia's apartment in Bogota, Colombia. We are social distancing because we don't live together. So yeah, we are saluting everyone from Colombia.
Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And 3 Feet, let me just double check I have this right. Yep, it's in our size large program of rated K. So everyone, please check that out as well. And this is a live action film. Could you tell us about what brought you to this story and the making of the film?
Sure. Well, I was born in Bogota is the capital of Colombia. And I was born in a smaller region, which is Norte de Santander. And as a child, I grew up going to vacations to Pamplona, where that's the town where the story takes place. And I really wanted to pay an homage to that region of my country. And that was the first thought that I had in my heart while developing 3 Feet. I have lived in Bogota for a lot of time, but I really wanted to pay a tribute to my region. And then I worked as a documentary filmmaker for public television in Bogota's schools, elementary schools, for like 5 years. So I was there with them every day, listening to their stories. And I realized that the children are so powerful, so resilient, and they solve lots of problems that they have in their everyday life on their own. So I thought I really want to portray a story that reflects that, that really shows that children are heroes in their everyday lives, and that not necessarily adults are there, every step of the way, but that they figure things out on their own as well. And the best place to do it is the school. That's where they really get to be themselves, and to develop. So that was the origin of 3 Feet.
Yes. And about production, yes, we really made a very close production with the community of the town. So all the characters are from the town. They are natural actors, and they are kids that live there, and the adults, for example, are from the market. So it was really amazing, like, to have that process with them, like an acting process where it was like very close to them, or like a game. It was not like a casting with a roof casting. No, it was like a very end process of more or less 6 months before we make all the shooting there.
Sorry, I keep thinking I'm unmuting myself and I'm just not pressing the button hard enough. I was saying that your actors are so charming, and the lead actor, what was your experience working with him? Like, he's adorable, so talented.
Yes, actually, like Natalia told you, we are a team that takes into account children as part, also not just to be the face of the film, but also they are part of the collaborative process of creating the film, So Santiago, that's the name of the main actor, was very fundamental in creating the character of Gonzalo, I have a script that I already had on my mind, but it was developed in this workshop that we did with the children and the community. And for example, the relationship of Santiago, of the main character, and his mother, that was something that we developed around the actual relationship that he has with his mother. So it was a more collaborative process, during which we adapted the script to children's point of view, to children's experiences, instead of us, saying like, this is what you need to do, this is what. No, we were like there to learn, because we believe that children are the best script doctors, jurors, editor commenters that there are, they say things straight up. And that was amazing of working with them. It was not just go to the town, shoot and leave, but we were there like for 6 months, in which we explored the relationships within the community. We adapted the script, and that created a very natural feeling, even though they have never acted before in their life. So I think that's some of the most amazing things we hear about the film. Like, the acting is so good, but it was because it's part of a process that's collaborative and that takes time, which is the way we as a team approach children live action films.
That is incredible. That's so cool to hear. And, from an artistic and educational perspective, I really admire how you, kind of collaborated with the children, and it turned out so beautifully. So yes, it's definitely a testament to, I think, how you interacted with the actors. So well done. I could get into another hour of talking about what that was like on set for you, but unfortunately we don't have enough time. But I do want to talk a little bit about what you're up to professionally right now. And I know you've got a new production studio, and filmmaking isn't even the only thing that you do. You have encompassed so many different talents. So tell us more about your different projects, please.
Yeah, right now we have actually a short film. That's a documentary short film that I'm directing, the director. We shoot it in Mexico. Yeah, and actually this Giselle is the editor and the co-producer. So we are a team that constantly work with kids. And this short film is actually festivals. So we are lucky. This year it started the route of festivals. And we are too in developing a series, and we are co-directing it. It's about stories of girls and sports, because we think that's very important, like to show how girls can do a lot of things. Because our characters of the other two short films were kids, who are boys. So here there are girls, the characters.
Yes, like we started this production company that is called Pescadito Films, because we are a team that have been working for a long time, and we were searching for our identity. And through these two short films, which are 3 Feet, Tres Pies, and Ramon, which is the one Natalia directed, we started finding our voice as a team, you know. And we also realized that as female directors, it was great, you know, to put these characters, this voice in front of our films. For us, it's very important to have the children in the center of the story, you know, like we make films for children, with children. That's like our motto. So then we decided it's also important that we portray stories about strong girls, you know, as female directors. So that's something that we are developing right now, a documentary series shot in a very cinematic way about strong girls that do sports and many of the things that they face on their everyday life. So that's something that has us really excited. We have not started production. We're already started research, and also that we are all female technical team, because I think it's very important that like what we noticed when we were shooting 3 Feet is that it's very important that children notice women in position of doing technical jobs, leading a team, you know, that really changes perspective, you know. You can't be what you can't see. So by putting the girls on front, we're expecting to start a new stage in our production process, and hopefully it will be ready by the end of next year.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds so exciting, and congratulations on it's Pescadito Films?
Pescadito Films, yes.
Yes, it's Pescadito Films. You
Perfect.
can find us on Facebook and Instagram. And also you can find Tres Pies. We mostly write in Spanish, but we're working on also writing in English. And now, like, there are translation like immediately in both platforms. So yeah, you can follow us and find out what we're up to, and also about the new production, Ramon.
So awesome. Well, congratulations. Thank you so much for being here and having your beautiful film in our festival. Yes, amazing role models all around, and it's great to talk to you and see your faces. So
Thank you.
Thank you. We're so happy to be at the Milwaukee Film Festival, you know, and with these colleagues with such beautiful work. It really inspired us to go ahead, and yeah, like connectivity has helped us to, even though we're in different places and we cannot travel right now, to feel closer. So thank you very much for this effort to the festival, and to all the other filmmakers and also the team.
Yes, it's very important for us to have like one-on-one like contact. Yes.
well, this has been delightful. Thank you both again.
Okay.
And napping.
We have here.
Yes.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.